The following podcast contains coarse language and adult themes. This week on the show...
This is the podcast speaking.
Hey friends, and welcome back to the Filmatics podcast. I'm here with Addy, my best pal, who just loves going out there and taking credit for a bunch of murders he didn't do, which is absolutely what the Zodiac did. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? It's been ages.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Talk about Zodi. This was your idea.
Well, yeah, it's because I rewatched The Killer, and it's still fucking amazing. And I realized we've been a little, like, we've done Fincher, like, more than I thought that we ever would.
What else did we do?
Because we did The Killer, we did Seven. And and then we talked a lot about Seven in one of the very recent episodes.
Oh, yeah, that's right, we did. We'll just, like, go back and listen to the episode, yeah. I mean, he's a great filmmaker. He's got a killer filmography. I love Benjamin Button and Fight Club's, you know, the classic. Yeah, like even his more contemporary stuff's really interesting. Mindhunter's a great show. Yeah, it's really good. Zodiac's a pretty high watermark though. This might be my favorite of his. I don't know.
Well, I'm excited to get into it.
Had you seen it before?
Nope, first time.
Amazing. Oh wow. Well, we'll get into it, but first, what's been happening? We had a couple of weeks off because I was busy. You know, just preparing my murders. What have you been up to? You're back on home base.
Yeah, I'm back on home base. I'm glad to be back. I'm done with all my rabies shots, I think. I think there's one left, but it's just a booster. Yeah,
for those of you who didn't listen to the last episode, Addy got bitten by a werewolf on Halloween. And they're looking rather hirsute as well. I think there's some lycanthropy going on. I don't know. You'd go full beast and like look blue and shit. It'd be awesome.
Do you know that's what I want? That's what I aspire to be.
Mm-hmm. You're just running around the streets of India. You're in India, weren't you? Just running around the streets of India with your bare arms out, going, bite me, dogs, bite me. I want to turn into a beast. Do it.
It's still not the weirdest thing out there, man. Let me tell you.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There was that guy, the singing guy. Hey, come and get your shit. I got some shit. Come and get it. That was me translating, obviously. That's probably not what he really said.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. We're doing a double this today. I can't remember the last time we did that.
Me either, actually. Yeah, we just want to get ahead of schedule a little bit. So we're going to do, this episode and then record immediately after this an episode on something. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to wait and see.
The thing is, every time we do a double, we end the first one with the Q&A segment, and then we go into the second one with the same energy, and it's always fun.
Yeah, like you kind of... You peak thinking the episode's about to end, and then you go into another one and you're at peak. So it'll be interesting. If the intro for the next step might be like, hey, motherfuckers, what's up, you bitch? Yeah! Fucking... Just shout at people calling.
Oh, man, I've missed you so much.
Bitches. I've missed you too, buddy. Yeah, it's been a long time. Been a long time. Well, do you want to talk about... We've probably watched 700 things. You've probably watched 700 things since we last spoke. Do you want to talk about some of them?
Yeah, a little bit, but I want to know how you're doing.
I do that every time.
Yeah. So I have to ask you, man.
A lot of stuff's happened all at once. That's why I had to have 2 weeks off, because it was just one thing after another. I said to myself, I fucked myself up. I was like, okay, I'm going to take like November and December off, sort of, in the sense that I'm not going to take on any big jobs. I'll just sort of finish up what I've got to finish up and, you know, have a proper break, you know, which I haven't had since this time last year when I went to Canada. And even then it was still like, you know, traveling like that isn't the same as just having a rest when you're at home. Emily's away and you know, it's just been the boys. And in saying that, it's become one of the busiest fucking months of my life, just with everything going on. So hence the gap. But I'm okay. I'm just could use some actual time off. But I'm headed to Sydney in a few days to go and visit Emily for her birthday, or our mutual birthdays. So that'll be a bit of a short reprieve.
Oh, yeah.
Get it wet. And by that, I mean go to the beach.
Oh, good.
And fuck in the sand dunes. You can't do it in the sand dunes. You can't. Once you get it in there, you can't get it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like having sex with a Cheerio. Like,
what the fuck?
Because of all the cinnamon. All right, can we talk about what we've been watching? We haven't even begun. There's still hours of recording to go, and I'm already talking about fucking Spanish desserts. All right, here we go. How do we do this again? What?
Well, what are we watching, right?
Yes. What shit did you watch?
No, you go first, because I'm still thinking about how you fuck a churro. Just do you penetrate, or does it penetrate?
Well, I mean, it's a long... I don't think we should get into it. It's a long, sort of weird, phallic-y shaped, but in terms of its length and the way that it presents itself, donut. It's like not a circle donut, but it's covered in cinnamon. The joke was the cock would be covered in sand. And jokes are so much funnier when you have to explain them, Reegs. But anyway, don't have sex with... Actually, you know what? Have sex with desserts if you want to. Like, it doesn't matter. They're inanimate. Whatever you're into. Can we talk about what we've been watching? Okay, yes. I've been watching some stuff, but two things that really stood out. One is the American adaptation of the film... Sorry, American, because it's in the title. Idiot. American Gigolo, the adaptation of the Richard Gere, Paul Schrader film from like 1987 or something like that. They did it as a Showtime miniseries. It was like 10 episodes or something, with John Bernthal playing the lead character of Julian, the male prostitute who gets framed for a murder, goes to prison for 15 years and then is exonerated when the real killer sort of comes forward. And it's so good, I'm watching it really slowly because I don't want to speed through it. It's a Beth Johnson. I know John Bernthal's been in a lot of stuff and he's great. He's really good as Frank Castle and he's really good in Wolf of Wall Street and he's really good in fucking Ford versus Ferrari, which you watched recently, I saw, and fucking epic film. I think we might need to do that as the next episode. But anyway, he's just so playing against type. Like Julian as a character is very soft and, you know, very calm. And it's a beautiful piece of TV, and I'm really enjoying it the second time around. And the other thing that I went and saw, and we talked about it because it's going to end up being our, you know, December commentary that we always do. Back to the Future had its 40th anniversary this year, and a lot of cinemas are doing re-releases, and they did it at the Astor. So of course I went, and I loved it. It's such a weird film because the central plot, I mean, the second and the third ones make more sense than this. The central plot is a guy who has to make sure that his parents fuck to have him. And the reason that might not happen is because his mum is fucking like wetter than Osama bin Laden's skeleton, like trying to get at him. And it's just outrageous. You know what I mean? Like, that's wild. That's a wild idea for a movie. And I was watching it and I was like, this would be a great commentary. We should definitely do it. But the one thing I thought was, if I got sent back to the 1950s in a time machine, I'd fucking stay there. There's no internet. You know what I mean? Food's heaps better. I'm a white man, so it's all good. You know, like for some people that wouldn't be great, but you know, I just go back there and work on a farm and just live out my life with a cool dog. I have to take the cats with me though. Like I've got to take, I don't know how Clarky's going to deal with, you know, the 19th century or whatever the 1950s, but he's coming. So that was my vibe. It was definitely like, that sounds like a cool place to be.
I have watched Back to the Future. I just haven't watched it recently. So like I know what the plot is, but I can't fully remember everything. So it would be a good commentary.
You know what could be amazing? And shout out in the comments if you want this to happen. We should fucking do them all. in one go.
Oh my God.
And just release 3 commentary tracks in December.
That would be cool.
Just do it like one night, like we'll start early, and just fucking smash them, and it'll be awesome. And we'll just talk them through. And then we can have a live reaction of you watching the third one.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
All right, we're going to come back to this, folks. Let us know if you'd like to listen to us talk over the whole series. What have you been watching?
Oh man, so much shit.
Pick a couple. That's the segment, is you pick some and we talk about them.
I binged through season 2 to season 5 of The Sopranos in like the 3 weeks that we had in the middle. You're a good show, man. I need a break. Not only is it a lot of crime, season 5 starts with him getting shot by Corrado. And then there is the 2 episodes where he's Kevin Finnerty all of a sudden. That was a lot. It was amazing. Cool, quite literally one of the most amazing episodes I've ever seen of television. So I binged through the first season of The Rookie just to get something else. I love
that show. It's so good. It's such a great show. Like for a cop procedural, it's really cool. And I know that's probably not exactly what happens in California. Like in terms of the LA Police Department, probably don't have to kind of deal with the same things that they deal with. Like, I can't think of anything in particular, but it wouldn't be off-brand for them to have to deal with a tiger escaping from somewhere or whatever. Like, it's very melodramatic. But in terms of, the way that it cuts from body cam to body cam and dash cam and the all the codes that they use and all that stuff, it's real legit. Like the actual, the people who work on it really understand the lingo and specific to LA as well. Like I like all that kind of stuff. What do you think of it?
Yeah, the season 1 was great, man. If it was any other white man, I would probably be pissed about how the show treats John Nolan. But because it's Nathan Fillion, it's all forgiven because he's just so good.
He's so charming and honest and just wants to do the right thing. And yeah, he's quite a good actor. I like him a lot.
The thing with Nathan Fillion as a lead, and then I haven't seen Castle, so like I don't have a previous with him.
Fucking great show! It's the shit. It is the shit.
I don't feel like he's trying to take like center stage. Like he is the main character. Like we opened with him, but he isn't like this. This is an ensemble, and it's very much like he is part of that team. And there might be things that are like emphasized more with his character, but in no way, shape, or form is he's taking the center stage and not letting the other performers shine, which I really love. And also, he played an actor playing a cop in an episode of Modern Family, and then because it was just one episode, they brought him back as another character, and he was a newscaster, and that ended up being like his like every season a return role, and he would just randomly show up. It was also weird because he was playing like 5 years older than his actual age, while dating like a 25-year-old. So it was a lot of things, but he was great in it.
Anytime he turns up on anything, I'll take it. He was my favorite thing about Superman. So Superman 2025, that is. Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to you to getting more into it because it gets better and better. Anything else?
Yeah. I got like 2 more things to talk about. One is I watched Lion, which is the 2016 and 2017 film. This one really broke me. I did, like, genuinely. This was a lot, and it took me 2 days to finish it because at one point I was like, I can't do this. I genuinely cannot go, like, move on with this film until I have a break. And I recommend it to almost everybody because of how real it is. And it's weird to say that, but it is very real, and it's so great. And
it's an Australian film, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And Nicole Kidman is in it, and she has one of the most incredible line of dialogue I've ever seen. whenever you watch it, I'll tell you what it is. But her performance, because she is in it, she's in the film like in the second half of it, and it's quite brief because it's all about Dave Patel's character's perspective mostly. So yeah, it's like performance wise, it's fucking incredible.
All right, I'll check it out. Check it out, everybody. Lion.
Yeah.
Dev Patel.
And then since I have like the film club with my friends, I made them,
or as we like to call him, Cumbelt.
Oh my god, that's right. Yeah.
Green Knight episode. That's such a weird... I can't get over that turn in that movie. Anytime I talk to anybody about it, I'm like, wasn't that weird? And they're like, it is a bit of a shift in tone, isn't it? It'd be like as if in the middle of Excalibur, someone fucking beat off onto a helmet. Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Anyway, sorry. It's like, I hate Conan. Actually, there'd be quite a bit of sex in Conan the Barbarian because he's a fucking...
He's a barbarian.
He's a beast, and they used him as a sex slave. But, you know, like, First Night, the movie with Richard Gere and Sean Connery, where it's you know, the King Arthur story and whatever. It'd be like as if, you know, Richard Gere plays Lancelot if he just fucking, you know, fingered his anus while jerking off onto some sheets, like in the middle of the movie, and then it went back to being an action adventure film. It was weird. It was bloody odd and weird. No shame either. Like, you know, it's totally fine, but still, it was a weird one. Sorry, can you want to go on the next thing you're talking about?
So I have a film club with my friends, so I made them watch X-Men and then X2. Because I introduced, because I had to, like, I wanted to show them X2, but I can't just show them X2. They have to have watched X-Men to understand what the fuck's happening in X2.
Of course. I mean, you could kind of, like, you can follow it well enough, but it's a richer experience if you've seen the first one.
Yeah, well, also you don't get the introduction with like the entire mansion and Rogue if you just go into X2. Like that's like your rating and your opinion on the film like goes from like not knowing anything to not understanding anything at all by the end of the third act. But yeah, they liked X-Men, and then the rating for X2 for me was a 9.5. For them it was an 8.5, and it was like across the board because we were like 4 people, so all 3 of them gave it an 8.5. And so,
are they all dead now? Are they dead? Is that what happened?
No.
You were like, I'm sorry, what's that? And you John Wicked everybody in the room because they were like, they didn't like X2 enough.
No, not yet. If it would have been lower than an 8, I definitely would have, you know, pulled out the cum belt, but not yet. They don't listen to this. It doesn't matter.
Pulled out the cum belt is such a great threat. You want to pull out the cum belt? You fucking what? I'll pull out the cum belt.
You turning into Tom Hardy there.
I did a little bit, yeah. Tom Hardy in the take. Horrific. Sorry, keep going.
My point was that because it was like a unanimous 8.5 for like the 3 people. Every movie that we watch since that's an 8.5. We say it's the X2 standard rating. It's an 8.5, which is it's perfect that it's still like it's still in the conversation even when we're not talking about it, which is great. Yeah,
it's a good catch-all, a good gauge. Nice one. Awesome. Was that everything?
Yeah, that was everything.
Wonderful. Well, some good recommends there. And Jesus, if you haven't seen X2, I sincerely doubt you're a fan of this podcast, honestly.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing, man?
What are you doing with your life? Just go back and check it out, you know. Should have killed me when you had the chance. So good. Okay. So, what the fuck do we do now? That's right. We do some nerd news.
We do some nerd news.
It's been too long, I forgot. Yes, here's the nerd news, everybody. Oscar Isaac, Moon Knight, is in talks for a role in Batman 2. Harvey Dent. I mean, come on, it's Harvey Dent, right?
Could be Ra's al Ghul, man. I don't know.
Ooh, I like that. Or do we say just fuck it and him as Dr. Freeze? Oh, Mr. Freeze. Yeah, I mean, that's also really cool. It would make a lot of sense too, because the person who kind of made Mr. Freeze famous or a decent villain was not Arnold Schwarzenegger in Batman and Robin. It was the guy who did the voice for him on the Batman animated series, the Emmy Award-winning episode Heart of Ice, which is still holds right the fuck up. I think he was Hispanic. So that could probably work. I think Oscar Isaac is Hispanic. I'm not 100% sure. He might be Portuguese. I don't know. Or he might be Portudux. Who knows what's going on for the man? I love him. He's one of my favorite actors. I don't care what he's doing.
No, I just got the duck and the geese thing. I was a bit slow.
It wasn't a good joke. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they're all good. They're just not all for you, folks.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Which is the same as cum belts. Okay, I'm not going to keep going back to that.
Cum belts are for everybody.
Cum belts are for all. That's absolutely right. Okay, so no, I like that idea. You say Raish, I say Raz. I don't know why.
Probably because I'm not a big fan of the Nolan films, and I haven't seen them. I just know how I read it the first time, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, that probably makes perfect sense. You know about the Black Panthers?
Oh, yeah.
Number 3 is coming, and it's confirmed as Ryan Coogler's next film. I'm so surprised by that, considering how huge Sinners was for him this year, that he would go back and do that film again. They must have been like, hey, just write down a number on this piece of paper and we'll pay it. And he put 11 zeros.
Well, he needs the funding for the X-Files reboot that he's doing.
Is that right? Yeah, I don't know if that's really needed, but then again, nothing really is needed in that sense, is it? But yeah, how do you feel about it? I still think Wakanda Forever is a pretty good film.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of maligned, but...
Well, what do you mean by that?
It kind of came along at a time when Marvel was trying to figure some shit out, and it really didn't have the juice that it probably should have. Not just because of what happened with Chadwick, but also because of the shift in tone and how it was trying to introduce really big concepts like Namor and, the Atlanteans and all that stuff. It just didn't have the cultural reverence that Black Panther did, the original,
It was also the third film in an era where it started a bit Quantumania and then proceeded that with the Thor film that we don't talk about.
Yeah, it wasn't a great time for Marvel. Track record wise, it wasn't awesome. So yeah, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I want to say something about that though. In the vein of like all that, like since Wakanda Forever came out, there's been like a huge, I'd say like not a movement, but like an outroar of fans wanting T'Challa to be recast. And I feel like that's a very, like, if that's what you're really hoping for, then you're not a fan of that character, nor are you a fan of, like, what the films did. Because if you saw Wakanda Forever, you know that that's not only is that not the way that they were going to go with in the first place, but the fact that they handle it as well as they do. And it's like Chadwick Boseman is there in spirit in that film. Like T'Challa looms over that script and that film till the very end, and they go to hell with the fucking post credit scene, which it's one of the worst post credit scenes of MCU in my opinion. But I really hate that there's like a push for recasting T'Challa, especially now that we have a Black Panther. And to see Shuri struggle with grief and anger, and in that film, and to now like defend that is like, are you fucking stupid, dude? Like, I quite literally don't understand it. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I feel like that it's had its time. You know what I mean? And if you're going to introduce another Black Panther with these big Marvel movies that are coming, Secret Wars and the other one that I can't remember the name of. Legitimately, what the fuck's it called?
Oh, the other one that's coming next year, Doomsday.
Yeah, and you see a variant, okay, but yeah, I don't think that there's a need to do that. But look, I don't run the company, so whatever. Last little quick music. Fuck my hole. I haven't podcasted enough recently to be doing this. Okay. Lastly, Tom Cruise. You know Tom Cruise?
Mm-hmm. Scientology guy.
He runs the Scientology dude. Yeah. I think he's moved past that a little bit, honestly. He's received an honorary Oscar at the 2025 Governors Awards. It's the first ever for the iconic movie star. Fantastic speech. You can see it in full online. Whatever you think about Tom as a professional or as a person, I know he's had some controversy and he's had a bit of a weird life, but, you know, money and fame do that. Hollywood's a sick environment and it turns people ill, and that's just what's up. But he genuinely loves movies and storytelling, and that's what he said. You know, he doesn't movies. I don't just make films; they are who I am. You know, it was a beautiful speech, and like he said as well, anybody young watching his movies will hopefully be, you know, a person who says, "I want to do that." You know, I want to sneak into the cinema and, you know, be part of this beautiful art form. And it really is. You know, it's a. There's nothing else like it. There's nothing else like movies, and yeah, you got to respect the dude for that. So well done, Tom. I hope you get a real one day for doing something awesome, like when you were in Magnolia, or Interview the Vampire, or Tropic Thunder. Yeah. You know, any of those good ones. But yeah, it's congratulations, and also congratulations while we're talking to the Zodiac for getting away with it.
Oh my God. That was so bleak.
That was dark. That was a dark joke. But we're talking about Zodiac. David Fincher film. Came out in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. Just fantastic. Like I said before, it's gonna be a hard one to make jokes about, because it's about a not a prolific but a nefarious and famous serial killer who got away with it. You know, even by the standard that this film sets of kind of explaining who it really was, and I'm on board with it. It's a pretty sound theory, but still, they were never incarcerated, never charged. It's also weird that this film's almost 20 years old.
Oh my God, yeah,
that's fucking whack. Absolutely crazy. I remember watching it for the first time on Divvy, and I greened out on weed while I was watching it, and fucking it's not a movie to get high watching, I tell you that much.
That's a very bad decision, my friend.
It was. They were passing around these big-ass Bahama joints, and I was like, whatever. And then I look up, and it was like that Cat Williams joke. There was like 4 in rotation. I'm like, hang on a second. This is Puff, Puff, Give, not Puff, 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 Puff. Fucking hell, I couldn't handle it, and I turned completely sheet white. And then the worst thing in the world happened is that fucking someone looks at me and goes, "You know, you look a little bit pale." I'm like, what do I look? You sound slow motion, man. And that was my first experience watching Zodiac. What was your first experience, Addy?
Did that actually happen?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Had a lot of weed. Weed doesn't like make you hallucinate. That's an exaggeration, but everything slowed down a lot. And the movie's long, but it felt like I was watching it for a day. It was just a very, very weird circumstance. What were your circumstances at watching Zodiac, and why did you decide that this would be? Oh no, you said because you're watching The Killer, but yeah, what was the circumstances you watched it under?
I'm sorry, I'm still getting over you sound slow motion.
That is a pretty funny way to put it. It just came out. I didn't think.
It makes sense. In the context of your story, it makes sense.
It's something that a stone person would say as well. Shit, man, you sound slow motion. I fucking what? Can you just pay for the pizza so I can leave? No one pays for pizza when they turn up anymore. You pay online and then it turns up. That's showing my age. Remember when they used to call the pizza guy and he'd turn up and you'd give him money and then he'd go away? Now it's like you got to go on the app and a fucking drone delivers it, or it's fucking your mum in an Uber. Like, it's just, yeah. Anyway. My mum doesn't work for Uber Eats.
Can I say something?
Please. Anything to get us back on track.
Yeah. He's not putting us back on track. He said the drone fucking somebody's mother while delivering. We're like, what? Is it? Are you just saying it's somebody's fucking mother who's delivering
It's
it?
just somebody's mum.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was just saying someone's mum is doing Uber Eats is whatever. I wasn't talking about a drone. Like drones deliver food in the States, I think. Isn't it?
I don't know, man.
Subway does it or something? I don't know. Anyway. Can we talk about Zodiac? Shit. Based on actual case files, we open on July 4th, 1960 in Vallejo, California. This is the first two victims who are going for a midnight tryst. They're going to park somewhere. And as they're parking, they see a bunch of, dudes being, causing a ruckus. And I love this kid. He sticks his head out and goes, "Fuck off and die." He's so great. He's so great. Oh, sorry. That's right. What was the circumstances under which you watched this?
Oh, like midnight. So why I watched it?
Turned back into a person after you'd been a werewolf all day. You're like a reverse werewolf. That would be a wolf that turns into a man, Riggs.
Yep, that's a wolf man.
Yeah. Fuck, we can't talk about this movie.
Wolf person, yeah.
So you were just like, I'm just going to chuck this on at midnight. Fuck it.
Yeah, and then I stopped when like it got a little too much. I stopped when Jesus Christ. I stopped after like the broadcast with Brian Cox's character.
Melvin Belli.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was a little too much.
I think paramount to it working, because it's not really a horror movie, and I remember I was talking to the guys from Sequel Suck about it because I was trying to figure out what constituted a horror movie for the 31 and 31. And I wanted to rewatch this anyway, funnily enough. And I said, what about that? And they were like, no, it's a police drama. It's a police procedural. And they're absolutely right. It's not a horror movie by any stretch of the imagination. However, the sudden sporadic violence is so like shocking in its intensity and how they sort of eke it out over the course of the picture. Like the director's cut's nearly 3 hours long. And you just see these little bursts of it. And it, Fincher is such a tactician. Like he's such an incredible methodical artist that it's all pristine. Like, the by the lake in Lake Berryessa, mm-hmm. where the woman gets killed and the guy sort of survives, but he gets killed. When they were scouting that location, in the background, and you wouldn't even notice this because you're too busy watching the murder happen, but in the background, Fincher made them move trees in order to have it be more accurate to what it looked like during the time.
See, that's fucked up because I heard that they like gave them all the files, like the files that like not even the reporters were like permitted to have. Like they gave them everything they had because like it was also like they were making this in 2005 or 6, probably 5.
Yeah, and
it was still quite a very recent because we started in 1969 and it ends in 2001.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, like by that time, there's nothing there, but like they're still trying, and like it ends with like in 2001 it became a cold case, but it's still active in like Vallejo.
But I mean, there's pretty much universal consensus that Graysmith cracked it, and that his book that he wrote, which is an actual book, you see it on the stand at the airport in the end, that I've got it sitting on my bookshelf right there, that's he kind of, and how they can make all of these facts and shit, like Fincher's really good at this. Like he does it really well in there's another picture that was similar to this. I can't remember what it was called. It's going to drive me nuts.
7, Gone Girl?
Yes, like Gone Girl, absolutely. It's got this kind of precision to it, of eking out facts and stuff like that. Yeah, but I forgot really what my point was, but it's okay.
Are you talking about how they can like pull facts from like files?
Well, no, more just how data is presented in this film in a really interesting way. Like, it shouldn't be interesting, but the scene at the end where it's Tarski and Graysmith, and they're in the diner, and he's explaining like where where the Zodiac killer lived in relation to his first victim and there was the painting party and all that stuff. It's absolutely riveting, but it's just a guy basically reading from files.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, because of the actors, because of the way it's staged, because of the intensity of what it's built up to, like you're right there, but they're telling you facts.
I saw the interview of the guy who survived their like the lake murder, and like because the guy says that it's his account, because obviously the lady doesn't make it, but it's his account. So what Fincher did is that because while Zodiac was killing like the lady, the guy looks away because he can't, because he's been stabbed as well, but he like it's too much for him. He looks away, and the way they show that in the film is that they don't show him looking away, but they just it just cuts to an establishing shot of the lake, and then it's a wipe to the precinct. And it's a first person take.
It's that tracking shot along the car where he's written the information in blood, and you see the guy on the other side of it. Yeah, I've done it again. Goodbye. Fuck, it's chilling. I can't watch that scene. Like, the build up to it's really interesting. Like, because he's like, it's well, this is Napa, California, September 27th, 1969. It was what would be reported as the second Zodiac killing. That scene where he comes up and he's like, he's got a gun and he's got a mask on, and I broke out of a prison, and he's like, I'm pre-law and all this kind of stuff, and he's like, here, take this, and maybe I could write you a check and whatever. I might be able to help you. You know, he's a psychology major, blah, blah, blah. This dude thinks he's getting out of it.
Yeah.
The kid?
Yeah.
He reckons he can, because he's a privileged white man. He's talked his way out of a lot of shit, you know, and he thinks he's going to get away with it. And then as soon as they're tied up, and he's like, gets really cold out here at night, I have to turn the sound off. And it's almost worse because
oh fuck. I mean, yeah.
Then I'm just watching it like cold with nothing but like the sort of that silent hum of the world and this horrific thing going on. Every time. There's only two scenes in movie history that make me do that. It's that one and the one where Adam Goldberg gets killed by the guy in Saving Private Ryan. Have you seen Saving Private Ryan?
I have.
Yeah, it's the scene where he's like, they're having a knife. They've both run out of bullets and they've got a knife between them, and it's about this far away from his chest, and he's like, wait, we can talk this out. And this German soldier just goes, shh, and slowly puts the knife in. I skip that scene every time. I just can't do it. It's too real to me. And that's how I feel about this lake scene. But let's just speed back a little bit here to the first shooting. It's really interesting to kind of understand where we end up. You know, the first time you see this movie, you're kind of just taking it as it comes. But the more you see it, the more you see the seeds that have been sown into the narrative. One of them is the female character in this scene clearly knows who it is. You see, as soon as the gun goes off and he steps into light, you can see that she registers, knowing that it's that I can't remember the name of the Zodiac killer. Hang on.
It's Arthur Lee
Allen.
Yeah.
She clearly knows it's him, and he was obsessed with her for a really long time, and you have this sort of horrific killing, and he does tend to, you know, you look at the stabbing of the young man. It's not very effective. He lives. The cab driver is killed, but it's a very quick sort of, you know, it was almost like to drum up a bit of social media support for the Zodi, you know what I mean? Like, to just get him back on the boards. But he takes a lot more time with the female victims. I think he was a hebephile. I think he was sexually obsessed with teenage girls, and that was why he spent so much time particularly on them. But that's just my theory after reading the book.
Well, I like how you said that she knows, because I feel like that's the only instance where it's clear that the other person knows, because she knows it when he's in the car and the car drives off. It's not even when he comes out. She knows who it is because she says, "Don't worry about it."
And the kid says, "Is that your husband?"
Yeah.
She's clearly having an affair with a young dude. So yeah, it's just those little bits that kind of like feed into it all. They also had different actors play Zodiac at different points in the film, so that you never. Sometimes it's John Carroll Lynch who plays Arthur Lee Allen, but sometimes it's these other people. We do jump forward 4 weeks later to San Francisco, and we're introduced to Jake Gyllenhaal's character, Robert Graysmith, who was the real cartoonist who became the journalist who wrote the book, the original book. You've got the fantastic RDJ pre-Iron Man. This was a year before Iron Man, playing Paul Avery, a man who was actually quite tall and blonde, was my understanding. And you have the reveal of the first code. You know, you've got the following the trolley cart, and then the reveal of the first code. This is where the sort of that procedural kind of cop thing kicks in, because immediately after that you get like Elias Codius, you know, who's Casey Jones, but he's also playing the Vallejo cop, and then you get the late killing, and then boom, we have, you know, San Francisco 2 weeks later. It's October the 11th, 1969, and the introduction of Mark Ruffalo as Toschi and the dude from ER. Anthony Edwards is the name of the actual actor, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember who he plays. It's but to go back for a second, you know, you get Jake Gyllenhaal, who's really like, he's kind of playing against type here too, don't you think?
Well, for the time, I would say so. But honestly, I've not seen much of his work from that time period. I'd say I've seen more after this. Honestly, like I've seen Prisoners, and I've seen what's the one with the fucking spider, man? Anyway, that one. The
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite like mindfuck films of all time.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good one. Everybody should check out Enemy for sure. That fucking spider, get fucked. So he's kind of right on top of it and starts sort of trying to crack the code, and it ends up being like you find out that there's a lot of miscommunication and investigative dick measuring going on between the different police counties, and it really did kind of help the Zodiac Killer get away with it, because they were so. It was part of the reason it didn't work, the investigation. You know, it was part of the reason why the people who ended up cracking the code were fucking school teachers. You know, they weren't, and also back then. They had, fingerprint and all that kind of stuff, DNA, but they just couldn't get it over the line because of stupid shit like handwriting. Like, is that really what we're going by? Like, what the fuck?
Well, it's also the evidence like the 60s.
Was so damning. What, sorry?
It's also the 60s. They don't have all that yet. Like, by the time you get to 7, the fingerprints take 3 days.
Yeah, that's true. I get that, but I just feel like when Toschi and his partner are on like task trying to get someone to sign off on a warrant for Arthur Lee Allen's house, and they go there and they find what they find. Like, he's got a gentleman's dildo, which is interesting. Not that makes him a serial killer, but, you know, just enjoying himself. But all the squirrels and everything, and a gentleman's dildo is a dildo that doesn't have balls on the end of it. You didn't notice the dildo?
I did not.
It was a wooden thing. Yeah.
That's probably it, because of the fuck. Oh my. It's all like one color, man. There's no color. It gets very black and white by the end of it, but there's no color in this.
It is quite desaturated and amber, which is a David Fincher kind of staple. But yeah, I just don't understand why, you know, with short of finding pieces of the bloody shirt at the house, they had all the evidence they needed from the interview that they do. When they actually go there, you know, the guy, it's you know, the brother-in-law or whatever talks about it, and he's like, my friend said that this guy I know said that he was gonna do this, and his favorite film is The Most Dangerous Game, and that this is how we do. Like, witness testimony alone, you know, that should have done more than it did. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being fucking precious about it. I just, you know, bad people get away with bad shit.
Yeah, that's kind of where it ends, actually. It's just
yeah. Just to talk about it from a filmmaking perspective, there's a lot of like CG imagery going on there, but it's all stuff to just enhance the period aspect of the film. So it's like set extensions and removing certain elements. And it's all the stuff that you don't notice because you're too busy living in the aesthetic. And Fincher's a fucking king at that. Like he did it all through Benjamin Button. He's done it in Seven as well. Seven is nondescript. In Mindhunter, that's period as well. Is you see the whole thing. It's skylines get changed and shit. It's just those little pieces that make every little moment more believable.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting that you say that because I genuinely did not notice, even for a second. Like I was genuinely just living into it. Like I was very invested.
And that's the thing about the movie. It sucks you in. It's got this amazing draw, and it's the performances. Like Mark Ruffalo is so good in this. This is probably my favorite performance of his. I think it's fantastic. The scene where the cab murders happen, and that overhead shot that follows the cab, and the camera kind of
beautiful, man.
With so great. And people are like, oh, it looks like GTA. Yeah, it probably does, but it's a little bit more finessed than that. So there's that scene happens, the cab scene happens, and they put out a report saying that, look for somebody, in this vicinity, whatever. And then a little bit later in the film, you get those two cops and they're like, we think we saw him. And he's like, did you stop him? Did you even talk to him for a second? And they were like, and he was going in this direction and whatever. And he's no lie. They said that there was an African-American we were looking for. And he was like, that call got corrected. He's like, oh, not before we got it. And he's like, it was dark. We couldn't see it. He's like, he would have been covered in blood. And that delivery of that line, the disappointment of that, it's like, you guys fucked this up. You two beat cops are going to be the reason that more people die. Like, just, yeah, he's so fucking great. It's this and Spotlight, high watermark.
I got to see Spotlight, man. This is the second time this week that somebody's recommended that to me.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's a really good. As someone who studied journalism, you will fucking love it. It's a good. It'll have the reverse effect that Nightcrawler had on you. You'll be like, yeah, fucking A, proper journalism.
Oh yeah, no, I don't talk about Nightcrawler because I don't like it.
That's totally fair. We will never do an episode on it, not even ever. But yeah, from that scene, from the cab scene, this is where it becomes our detective shits, and we're on task, and they're talking about the crime in the first person. Like he says to him, why do you shoot him? And you get blood all over yourself, and he goes, because I'm an idiot. You're not an idiot. You wait till he put it in park, and they walk through the crime as if they're the criminal. Really, really cool way of doing it. I don't know if that's how Toschi actually used to operate, but I know there are interviews available with him. You get so after that kind of the killing, it's almost to sort of, again, drum up interest in the Zodiac. And then he calls and wants to talk to Melvin Belli, who was a famous psychoanalyst at the time. And the way they choose to only dramatize particular moments where it's an alleged Zodiac thing. I'm of the opinion that this and the scene where he picks up the woman after saying, I'll fix your tire, and then doesn't fix it, and then they're driving and there's the huge long beat of silence and he says, before I kill you, I'm going to throw your baby out the window. Cut to black. I don't think they were the Zodiac. I think that the call was like the Sam person was just a crazy person looking for attention. And I love the scene immediately after that when they organize a meeting and all the helicopters. And Brian Cox is so fantastic. He's like, my, you fellas sure do know how to put on a secret meeting. He's so fucking great. But yeah, I feel like that's not the dude. That's not the dude at all. I mean, that scene's super effective. Like the I'm going to throw your baby out the car, but it still doesn't ring true. I don't know.
That was the one thing that was like, I don't know if this is real or if it's just somebody else trying to pose as him. And honestly, I think I thought that because it's one of the most horrible things to ever to ever experience, let alone just watching a film. Because what the fuck do you do when you're in that situation and somebody says, before I kill you, I'll throw your baby out? There's no coming back from that.
No, and it's so effective to cut to black.
Oh yeah.
And then to have her come out of the off the highway screaming, and you don't know what's happened to the baby. Just horrific. But again, it's only one of 3 scenes or 4 scenes where you actually get the Zodiac doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really good that they included it, but I don't feel like it was actually the original Zodiac killer. The guy was a coward, and he was only interested in scaring people. He'd never shoot out the tires of a school. Like, he didn't have the only way that would have happened is if they pushed him to do it, and it would have taken a lot more than it did.
Yeah, and also, like, if you go with the theory that it was Alan, then he was a school teacher before, like, he got fired, and I think that's a conflict. I think that's a conflict of interest. Like, it's a threat for sure, but it's a threat that, like, a normal person would be alarmed by, but not when it's like the people who are actually investigating it, because it's out of the realm of what they've been going after. And
there's that scene where they're sitting down and he's like, he's breaking the pattern. No, he's not. He's just not. He's not responsible for all this shit. And Avery figures it out. He's like, later on, they go to that place after they've had like 6. He's like, this can no longer be ignored. The blue drink. And he's got the cocktail, and he's like, it's an Aqua Velva. You wouldn't laugh if you had one. And then it smash cuts to 6 empty glasses in front of him. And then they end up going to the newspaper thing, and he's like, you go down 3 stacks and I'm going to stand here and attempt not to vomit. And they discover that he's taking credit for murders that he couldn't possibly have done, because he's more interested in scaring people and being a celebrity than he is, actually. Like, people who are proper serial killers and shit and get away with it are ones who just like killing motherfuckers and don't want to get caught. That's a very different thing, Can
we talk about Robert Downey Jr. for a minute?
Yeah.
Because I feel like he went from this to like a decade of MCU movies. But Jesus Christ, he's so fucking good in this. And to fathom the fact that him and RDJ and I almost called him Bruce Banner. I genuinely just called him Bruce Banner.
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. Like, both of them share only one scene together. It's just a one scene where they're after they've had the meeting with the police department, and they reveal that they've given all this information to Avery already.
Yeah. I love it. It's such a slam as too. Hey Tosky, it's been a year and a half. You're gonna catch this guy already? Like, that's such a fucking slam. Brutal. Yeah, I mean, RDJ he's always been an exceptional actor, but he did get caught up in Marvel Town for a really long time, and the evidence is right there. If you look at what he did just before this happened, just before this Marvel happened, so you've got Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, a singing detective, this in particular, absolutely stellar performances all round. Marvel, 10 years. Oscar for the first film out of the gate,
There was the Dr. Dolittle thing that they did.
That's not a film. That's not a movie. That is a human shit, that movie. Come on, everybody. You know how much love I have in my heart. Shit. I just did an episode with the Podcast Assemble guys on the new Running Man movie, and that's kind of trash, but I fucking, spoke highly of it as much as I possibly could. But you all know me to be a measured person. The Dr. Dolittle film with Robert Downey Jr. is rubbish. It is absolute rubbish. Anyway, so we ignore that.
Yeah.
Oppie. And then he runs back to Marvel. You fucking idiot. You're nearly 60. Do something. What did they offer you? The Globe? They're like, oh, yeah, Robert Downey Jr., do you want to come back and be at Marvel? And he'd be like, no, thanks. I've just got to go and polish my statue. And by that, I mean my dick and then my Oscar. But I'm not going to do that again. Oh, really? How would you feel about The Moon? Would you like the moon, Robert Downey Jr.? Because we have it. We are Disney after all. Actually, how about the moon and Venus as well? The Rock owns Mars. We can't give you Mars, but we can give you 2 other planets. And he's like, yeah, cool. That sounds awesome. That's how I think the conversation went.
You're not wrong.
I'm pretty sure I am, but thanks for saying it. Yeah, no, he's incredible. He's absolutely incredible. So just to sort of run through, we've got that fantastic Christmas scene. So this is a Christmas movie, I've decided, where they go to Melvin Belli's house after he gets a new letter. And he's so fucking good, Brian Cox. He's like, what are you boys doing for Christmas? You must see Africa. He's like talking to 2 San Francisco grunt police officers about going to Africa. And then he's like, yes, he called, I wasn't here. He spoke to my maid. He didn't leave a number. And the guy's like, yeah, he's crafty like that. I'm going to full on gut laugh at that moment in this, like watching it this time around. I don't know if I'd not noticed it before, but fuck, it was awesome. So good. And it actually ends up being that kind of cracks the code.
Mm-hmm.
When Graysmith goes to speak to Melvin Belli when he's actually begun writing the book, and he speaks to the maid, and she's like, he said it was his birthday, and they are able to figure it out based on the timeline that it would have been Arthur Lee Allen's birthday. But we'll come to that. We do have, in Highway 132 near Modesto, California on March 26, 1970. As I said, I'm pretty sure this has been disproven, but I'm also pretty sure that it's John Carroll Lynch, the guy who plays Arthur Lee Allen in the film, in that car, playing the supposed Zodiac. Before I kill you, I'm going to throw your baby out the car. Fuck me. And then we have a montage of time, and it's such an interesting way to do it, with the building of the skyscraper and the new letters and, the articles being written and the music changing and all that stuff. And then you get to the anniversary of the shooting of the cab driver, and we've kind of jumped forward in time in a lot of ways until they start figuring out what happened at Riverside and all that kind of stuff. Do you think the reason he keeps eating animal crackers and then starts smoking cigars is because he was trying not to smoke? Because he's like, you don't see him smoking. He's like, where are my animal crackers, whatever. And let me describe the lamp you're going to buy me, after he knocks it off the thing, catching the phone. And he's like, animal crackers. Anybody got any animal crackers? He's, what about the ones in the car? I'm saving them for later. I think he's got the Jones. I think he's like, this is how I stop smoking. Because then later on he's smoking cigar.
Well, yeah, because the partner leaves. So he doesn't
he's
have
maybe try the
rapport.
Japanese food. Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. It's kind of sad when that happens, because they go back to the original Riverside killing, and they sort of expand the suspect pool, and they speak to the guy in 71 in Torrance who says, I think my friend Arthur Lee Allen, who Lee ends up being the critical name there, and they go to find him, and that whole interview which is so fucking amazing, because he's like, as soon as he says about the blood on the knives in his car, he'd been skin diving, which is skinny dipping. Like, why would he give that piece of information? He could just say swimming. Like, he's getting off on this. And he says, that was from a chicken that I killed. The cop's eye line all change.
Yeah.
Just a fraction, but it just all changes so that they're looking just right to the left or the right of the lens. So if you were to just take a quick glance, it looks like they're looking down the barrel. Fucking incredible. He's such a great filmmaker. Have you ever seen that video that I've seen online recently where it tracks camera movement to the character's eye line? So when a character's eye line changes, the camera moves with it. It's just precision. I would love to have the kind of precision ability that David Fincher has.
Yeah, it's also, he takes 20 minutes to design scenes like that, because that's how his brain works. And also during that, their eye line shift. But they don't show him, he said, Lee says that, and then they show their eye line shift, and then it's just them listening to what he's saying. It's they don't cut back to him until he says, or maybe I'm mistaken, but there's not there's not a shot where it stays on Lee Allen until he says, if I was, I wouldn't tell you. Like if I was a Zodiac,
Yes.
I wouldn't tell you.
And when he's talking about, oh, I met a couple while I was swimming and I don't remember the names. I've got it written down at home or whatever. And he's like, yeah, we'll look into that. But really, they're all going, he's wearing a Zodiac watch. Like, I see it. And he's like, oh, this is about the most dangerous game. Like, he's literally, I mean, we all know from watching Criminal Minds often enough that serial killers like to inject themselves into the investigation. As soon as he figures out what the fuck's going on, he's kind of, it's a game. He's playing the game and he's getting what he wants. That's why he didn't fucking kill anybody for years until he ended up in the clink, because he was also a pedophile or a hebephile, in my opinion. It was absolutely this guy. I'm sorry. It's just like no one would give him what they needed to investigate this guy. A year passes. Paul's quit. He's, looks like he's about to drink himself to death. Graysmith goes to see him on the boat and he's like, what the fuck is your problem? This guy, like, more people have been killed in car accidents in the last year than he ever touched. Like, he was a footnote in history. Forget about it. And Graysmith's like, no, it's important. And for whatever reason, it obviously is, because he's one of a handful of serial killers, probably the most famous outside of Jack the Ripper, who got away with it and was never caught, like, officially. And that's what happens. Like, they have a period of dormancy where they're incarcerated for a lesser crime. And I'm not saying that being a child molester is a less crime than murder. It's probably worse, actually. But you know what I mean? Like, in terms of legally, it's that way. It's like, it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating to know that they got so close,
In the year that passes, you see how it's destroyed everybody. And, like, it's destroyed Avery the most because he dies because of it. And that's no secret. Because you see him at the bar with the oxygen tank, and in the bar you see Graysmith's interview on the television where he's cracked it. But yeah, it's like there's no like the film doesn't make a case that he hasn't destroyed them, but it's just after destroying everybody, that's when, like, Graysmith actually fucking enters and starts doing his investigation. And believe it or not, that's the last 30 minutes of the film. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really ramps down, like, so fast. And it's not until you get, like, firstly, you get Graysmith and Toschi meet. And this is as Graysmith's, like, life is crumbling around him. He's got his wife, Chloe Siobhan, that horrible doomed date they have.
Oh, God.
Just after Avery calls the Zodiac a latent homosexual and everyone's walking around with badges that say, I am not Paul Avery. You should sell these. It's fucking so funny. It's so good. And then he's got new kids and he's got his younger son, and that relationship is devolving as he gets more and more obsessed, and they start getting cold calls in the evening time. And then, like, Toschi and Graysmith meet, and Toschi's like, I can't help you, and I certainly can't tell you to go to Vallejo and go to all these places and investigate all this stuff. And it really is this guy, this obsessed guy, even though his wife leaves him, even though he's going to, puts himself in dangerous situations. He goes to Bob Vaughan's house, played by Charles Fleischer, who's also the voice of Roger Rabbit.
Oh.
So the guy where he goes to about the movie posters.
Yeah. No, I know. I don't want to talk about it because that is the most uncomfortable I've been in, like, this entire year while watching something.
Yeah. It's incredible.
It's so well paced, and it's so wrong from the get go. It's like, oh, we'll just go have a coffee in the coffee shop. No, you can follow me home. And then from that, it's like, no, I did.
He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I did the posters.
Like, he's so hungry for information, he's willing to put himself in this shit,
Yeah.
What did you say? Sorry.
No, because it goes from no, you can follow me home to no, I did the posters. To know I have some in their basement. And then one of the best lines of the entire film is that nobody has basements in California.
Fucking what? I am out. I am outie. I am a fucking shitty German car. I'm gone. Like, there's absolutely no way. And he goes down there. Is there someone else in the house? Like, fucked up. Severely fucked up. And it's the name is Rick Marshall. It's Rick Marshall. They keep trying to get at this thing, Rick Marshall. And so he goes to see Linda in prison, who was a friend of the original, like the first victim, the female first victim. And they're talking about this painting party and about how there was this guy there and he made everybody uncomfortable and he turned up in a full suit to a painting party and just didn't talk to anybody, whatever. And he's like, he had a short name or whatever. And he's like, it was Rick, wasn't it? It was Rick Marshall. And he's like, just fucking say it. Just fucking say it. It was Rick Marshall. And she's like, no, it wasn't. It was Lee. And he's like, holy shit. Holy shit. And then he goes home, starts to reinvestigate. Chloe Siobhan turns up with divorce papers and he still won't give it up. And he says, nothing makes sense anymore. And she says, did it ever? And he says, yeah, it did. Like when he knew what the task was, when he knew he was going after the Zodiac, it made sense. But now he doesn't know who he's going after. Until he remembers and hears that bit of information but from the maid that it was, the birthday, and he kind of figured it out. And he goes to Tosky's place in the middle of the night and he's like, it was Arthur Lee Allen, which is what Tosky says. He says earlier, he's like, I'd have arrested him right then and there if I could have. And they go to the diner scene, which is probably my favorite scene in the film.
Yeah, the diner scene is incredible. It's also, I feel like the jump, the 1 year jump is important because, and the information and the things that happen in the last 30 to 40 minutes, the pace of that before, after it slows down is important because while watching it, then you have the feeling of, oh shit, we're actually cracking it. But you also have, oh no, it's been a year. Nobody really fucking cares anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Time's gone.
Yeah. And it's like how I said before, it's destroyed everybody who's been attached to it.
Yeah.
And it's just
and that was kind of the ultimate. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's kind of what I was going to say. That's the whole point of it. The point that he didn't do anything after a year, just waiting because nobody fucking cared.
Yeah, it was all letters, and then the letters stopped, and they kind of figure out it was because when he was incarcerated. And the most chilling part is the fact is that, Arthur Lee Allen lived in his mother's basement across the street from where the first victim worked. And he's like, it's 30 feet door to door. And he's like, is that serious? And he's like, I've walked it. That's the thing for me. And then, he's like, this is really great work. Thank you for breakfast. And then it cuts to the final look in the eye where he finally tracks him down working in a hardware store. And you just get that look in the eye where he's like, I have to know that it was him. And then you get the denouement, obviously, of the original victim who bounced, who ran, when he was after he got out of hospital, and he comes back and he's like, it's been a long time. I don't know if I'll recognize him. And they show him a bunch of pictures, and he points out that, yes, Arthur Lee Allen was a killer. In the postscript, you find out about sort of what happened to everybody and, Gray Smith writing the book and Paul Avery passing away and Tosky retiring and all that stuff. But I think most critical is the fact that based on that testimony in whenever it was, that the first victim pointing out that it was Arthur Lee Allen, that they went to arrest him or went to question him. And a day before it happened, he died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It is.
Because he terrorized an entire state for the better part of 30 years, even still. I mean, Fincher talks about it. He lived there and he was like, I'll never forget it, the feeling, the curfews, all that kind of stuff. And he was just this weak, simple, depraved man. Which is usually what most serial killers are. They're not super geniuses. They're just people who get away with shit because of, in this case, poor policing and, not great systems of catching people or, building evidence and a bogged down legal system as well. And I think the thing that works for me most is the fact this feels like a 70s movie. You know, this feels like All the President's Men or Dog Day Afternoon or The French Connection or something. And it's why it's why I like it so much. It's why the subject matter is so interesting to me. And it's why I think it's my favorite Fincher. Absolutely. Yeah. Where does it sit for you in terms of the Fincher movies you've seen?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll get to that. But I do want to say it does definitely feel a lot like All the President's Men, especially because of it's from the perspective of the people investigating it. Like it's not from the Zodiac's perspective. And I think the more we get in, the more stories we get from that perspective, the more we realize that it's a place where people genuinely cared. You know, like it's not that anymore. And then there are quite a lot of factors that go into why it's the way that it is and what's happened to it. But you know, like I said, like it starts in 1969 and we end in 2001. And honestly, if like nobody fucking cared after that year, but then there was fucking Graysmith who did care, who cracked it, right? And it's that environment that makes you care because you're all there to serve the city and to like it's information that's important for people to know because their life depends on it. And
the fact that Graysmith went on to be the sort of foremost scholar on the Zodiac, he wrote a couple of books about it. You know, all it takes is one to sort of kind of punch through and understand that okay, so he only killed a few people, but those people still deserve justice.
Yeah, 100%. It also, like, with Lee Allen, it reminds me a lot of Ed Kemper from Mindhunter. Because one of the first meetings that Holden has with Ed Kemper, he's so inviting and so friendly. And he says that the only thing that serial killer want is to talk about the shit that they've done. Because there's nobody to talk about it. And that's what Lee Allen did in the first interview that they did with him.
Yeah, and he also talked about it with people and what his plans were and all the letters that he wrote, you know, 95% of which were probably him. It's just the psychopathy of a serial killer. Excellent movie.
Yeah.
Fucking excellent, everybody. Go and check it out. Zodiac from 2007, David Fincher joint. I think that's a good idea. We kind of walk through our favourite bits and everything. What are your top 3 Finchers that you've seen?
It's hard because I really like this, but I don't like it as much as I like 7.
That's okay. That's cool. That's totally cool.
But this also, in like 7 and Zodiac, both have one of my most like disturbing experiences while watching a film this year, which is insane. Because in 7, it's the second. It's where they find the body, and it's all smelly, and they find the pictures, and then it moves, and it all gets worse.
Yeah. Look, if that doesn't cause you to have explosive diarrhea, then you're not a human.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
We did 7 for the film club, and we all just sat in silence talking about it because it's like, because you get to the point where it's gotten worse because it's the second one. And there's pattern, and then there are pictures dating back a year. That means that it's been happening. And then it gets even worse because he's fucking alive. And it gets even worse because they can't save him because his body rejects nutrition.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, fuck.
And then
fuck.
And then in Zodiac, it's the entire fucking basement scene. Which, you know what? If you want to sell somebody on this film who hasn't seen this, if you just play the basement scene, because it starts and ends in that entire setting, it's the best way to like show them the tone of this film, because it's not connected in any way, because it doesn't even like, because at that point he's investigating the wrong person, like he's on the wrong trail, and it doesn't really like it doesn't like go into what the investigation truly is, but just to give the vibe, that's the scene. It stands alone so horrifyingly well. Like it's so well done that it's genuinely tearing towards horror. And that's what I wanted to come back with, because you started with, you know, asking the sequel side guys if this is a horror film or not. But I would say horror is subjective. And it's like whatever makes you feel uncomfortable in your own home is what horror is.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
If that's the case, then foreskins are horror.
What?
I know. I just think about it, man. I freak out. About foreskins. I don't really. They don't bother me.
That's the.
I don't have much chance to interact with them. Honestly,
They're the best.
I mean, I have one, but
they're the best.
There's some information the internet didn't have about me. Actually, you know what? If you Googled Regan Wood foreskin, information would come up. I don't know what it would be, but
it would.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, everybody can find everything on about you. You know, it was that thing. It was like, oh no, I don't want people to track me and getting a VPN. It's everybody's going to find everything about you everywhere if they want to look for it. You know what I mean? Like, just be happy with who you are. I'm pretty sure my foreskin's on the internet. At least it'll come up with Regan Wood talked about his foreskin on an interview on a podcast one time. So There you go. Well, that's awesome. So okay, so 7 is that your number 1, Fincher?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 7.
7, The Killer.
I love that you love that so much.
Oh man, I love The Killer a lot. It's
so great.
It's also like it's so non-Fincher. Like it's not classic Fincher. Like you can see the DNA from 7 to Zodiac, to Mindhunter, and to Gone Girl to some extent. But it's so odd there because most of it is funny. And it's so colorful. It's so much of David Fincher's work is not.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
But yeah, I would say there's like it's 7, The Killer, and then probably Zodiac.
Yeah, nice one. I think mine would have to be Zodiac, Fight Club. I just love Fight Club so much. It's so important to the DNA of my filmmaking self. Like, it was one of those movies I watched when I first decided that's what I wanted to do. Like, it came out in 99 and I decided I wanted to be a filmmaker in 98. So I was like, holy shit, this is what can be done. Oh my God. And it's a real tight toss up between Benjamin Button and The Killer for the third place. I'm not really sure. It depends on how I'm feeling. But then again, fucking A Social Network's incredible as well. So.
Oh shit!
Anyway,
yeah,
they're all good. His Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is really good. Gone Girl's really good. Like, even Alien 3 is really good. It's he's a fucking phenomenal filmmaker.
You brought The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and I was just going through like his filmography and while reading some of the stuff, like he references the basement scene in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and I haven't seen it, but I've only seen the scene where he references where Stellan Skarsgård character says, why is it that people don't trust their instincts? And like here, like Graysmith's instinct was to run, but he still does go into the basement. You know, he goes into the basement until it's too late.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
So, yeah.
I think there's a lot of DNA that stitches through his movies. But anyway, check out all of David Fincher's handiwork. He's excellent. Fucking Love, Death and Robots.
Oh
excellent.
My God, yes. And he's one of the creators of that entire series.
Yeah, him and Tim Miller and the other and his film, the one about the crab.
Oh,
spectacular! So great. And he also did the one most recently where it was the Red Hot Chili Peppers and they were all mannequins.
Well, I haven't seen the latest season.
Oh, it's good. It's good for you. You should watch it. I don't know why I just turned into Scarface for a second. Yeah, whoa. Look at this cocaine. I'm gonna do this cocaine, then I'm gonna watch some goddamn motherfucking short animated pictures. So
that's Hercule Poirot, my guy.
Whoever it was, enjoy. Do we have any questions for the Zodi episode?
Yes, we do. Question 1 comes from Juan. He's asking, Juan, what is your zodiac sign?
I'll tell you privately, Juan. I'm a Pyrex. I'm a test tube baby. It was a Billy Connolly joke.
I'm a Taurus.
Cool. That makes so much sense. You are such a Taurus. I mean, it's just the way that you tore us.
Oh my God,
is just
Jesus
amazing. You ever say that to people that are like, you are such a Pisces. It's just the way that you do stuff. And I love those people. don't not believe in that stuff. I just don't have any relationship to it at all, you know.
All right, the next one is from Chaz. Feature Fincher-style superhero film that is not the Batman.
Oh, that's easy. I say it almost every time. It's The Question. Fincher would fucking kill that. And I don't care if it's the OG. I mean, if you're going to do a Question movie or TV series, it should probably be based on the Denny O'Neil run from the 80s. But if not, the Renee Montoya version of The Question's awesome as well, that they introduced in 52. And Fincher would be perfect for that. It's like a hard-boiled detective show where he puts on a fucking plastic mask and goes out and fucking kicks people's asses and then talks about Taoism and meditates, and it's just, yeah, that's wicked.
Wait, that's what The Question is?
Yeah, it's like he's a news reporter who's also a vigilante who puts like this plastic thing on his face and, you know, engages this gas and it sort of sticks to his thing, and he goes out and does martial arts, but he's also like goes to the inside place where he goes and meditates and discovers answers to crimes and all this kind of shit. It's really fucking cool.
This is DC, right? That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's fucking great. It's one of my favorite characters, favorite series of all time. It's sort of, it's somewhere between like Batman and the Shadow. Like there's that. It's got the sense of humor and the quirkiness of the Shadow, but he's also like a proper vigilante. Yeah, it's really cool. That would be my pick, Chaz. What about yours?
This is very basic though. Constantine.
Oh, of course. That'd be fucking perfect. Yeah, right on. Because it could, you could do it sort of a little bit more the detective and a little bit less of and the supernatural would be like this, you know, in that it would be like moments of it and you'd be like, holy shit, did a demon just fuck someone in the ass? And then then the next scene's just him doing some investigative shit, you know what I mean? And then the next time it's a big scene, he's like, holy shit, did a demon just fuck someone else in the ass? Like there's a lot of demon buggery going on in that version of the movie.
Hey man, can I say something?
And then at the end of the film, you're like, oh my God, how many demons are fucking how many asses in the end of this movie? It's incredible.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Do you want to fuck a demon in the ass?
No, it's just like I'm trying to infect people with like this is like what advertising does to you. It's, you know, you see an ad for Fruit Loops 3 times in the day, and then you go to the supermarket and there's Fruit Loops on special, and you get home and you're like, man, I really want some Fruit Loops, and you don't know where it came from, but it's clearly you've been targeted. So yeah, anybody out there wake up tomorrow morning and be like, I had a dream that I fucked a demon in the ass. It's my fault and I apologize.
Okay.
Anyway, are there any more questions? Christ, no. We haven't even done the second episode record yet. It's getting out unhinged.
It was just this. But yeah, like watching this, it like I genuinely like would be down if Fincher does a Constantine. I think he would fucking love to do that. Not only is like the concept of that so out of his like previous work, but also like he can bring all that DNA with him. And like Constantine is like the best funnel for that, because you can have like also like you can be a fucking like you know how Keanu Reeves played him, but also like he's trying to quit smoking. You can have the fucking biscuits.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can have his fucking animal crackers.
Yeah, and like his.
Did you know the only animal cracker in the box of animal crackers, it's like rhinos and giraffes and all that stuff, and there's a monkey, but the monkey's wearing pants.
What?
Yeah, none of the other animals get pants. Isn't that strange? Are they worried because they'd have to show monkeys' cocks? Because you don't.
No, because you haven't for the other animals, so what would you do here?
Yeah. Abu just wears a vest and a little hat, and I haven't seen his cock once outside of fan art.
Can you send that to me, please? Thank you.
/fiction. Yeah, sure. Aboosedick.com. No, that's a different thing.
Oh, fuck no. Oh, my God.
That's a very different site. Yeah, no, that's a very different site. Don't go to that.
Jesus Christ.
Don't go to aboosedick.com, everybody. aboozedick.com, aboozedick.com, aboozedick.com. There you go. Enjoy that dream tonight. Or perhaps now your phone's fucked. You're going to get a bunch of ads for monkey dicks. Anyway, should we end the episode?
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We really do appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed the episode after a little break. We'll be back next week with something I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's delicious. But until then, be kind to each other, be kind to yourself, and remember, fuck hate.
Love wins. And did he do it?
Did he? Diddy definitely did it. Good night, everybody.